This is the current stock market update for SoFi Technologies, stock ticker SOFI. Before we begin with today's stock market analysis, if you find these educational materials to be helpful, please remember to click the like and subscribe buttons. Leave your thoughts below the comment section so that other traders can find this information more easily on the platform. We are going to start this video with a quick look at the short-term time frames here because the stock did see a fairly substantial price movement from a short-term basis. We did see a bit of a double bottom that formed right around $15. The stock did actually break below that $15 mark, but for my money, I would refer to this mostly as a double bottom. Let's just take a look at that so we can see what it actually looks like. You can almost even refer to that as a triple bottom from a short-term perspective. And even though there was a price low here of around $14.94, I would roughly refer to this as saying that the $15 mark has roughly held as a support zone. Even though you did see a brief breach below that area. And this is mostly because we did see a fairly substantial bounce from that region. Now on the day, the gain was roughly 5%. It was a little bit below there. And we did see multiple instances where there was evidence of an increase in trading volume as well. 2 out of 3 trading volume spikes were positive. So that does suggest that you could be in the process of forming a higher shelf here, something around this region here. Possibly around 1580 developing as a support zone. But I would say that if 1580 starts to break to the downside, that's when the longer term downtrend would be more likely to resume. Now, what is most important to understand in situations like this is that there's a lot of wood to chop here. I mean, I'm already seeing this idiot. He's such a bad channel. Staz Talks Stocks. He's basically saying that, the bottom is in, the stock market is reversing. This is the time to start buying. There were several meme stocks that did see fairly substantial rallies today. For example, we saw 15% price movement in Big Bear AI. Neo stocks saw gains of about 10% during some points of the trading session. But what needs to be understood here is that this movement is almost non-existent if we move out to the 4-hour time frame. I mean, we're not talking about a hugely long-term time frame here. You can't even see this rally at this point. I mean, I could draw the arrow and it would look something like this. You almost can't even see it. And if we're looking at the broader retracements here, you're still trading well below several major Fibonacci retracement zones. So for the most part, what this really looks like is a bit of a relief rally. We did see many stocks at once that started to move higher. And I think that that's much more a function of people exiting short positions rather than new long positions being entered into the market. More importantly, I would need to see some breaks of resistance areas to start to believe that a bottom is in place. You almost can't see this unless I really zoom into the price chart here, but we would need to start to see some significant breaks of resistance, probably near, at least 1635 to begin with. And then, you're really looking at a break of roughly $19.80 before you can start to make a better case, a better argument that the bottom is actually in. You need to start to see breaks of resistance rather than simple bounces off of a long-term low, which is what these people do not understand. Again, these people do not trade the market. They're YouTubers. They have never actually made any money in their positions. And if you're going to follow somebody like Staz Talks Stocks, you're going to be in for some very painful trading that will never turn profitable.